Gentlemen and female gentlemen, we are doing a lore dive in a character that I really wanted to do for a while, and I especially want to right now. That's right, we're talking about the Penguin lore dive. None of y'all were ready for that shit. Turns out the Penguin lore goes crazy. Remember that time Penguin fought Goku? It was wild. But anywho, the reason why I'm bringing this down over here and mentioning it to the masses is because recently there was a DC show that came out called The Penguin. And as someone that has an insufferable hate boner for superhero movies and shows, I have to say, The Penguin was just so good. The Penguin was freaking amazing. Oh my god. The Penguin show that just came out, the one on HBO, like the Penguin, like the Batman villain guy, it was insanely good. All right, so today we're talking about the Penguin. Here, let me just show you what the main character of the Penguin looks like in this adaptation. I think it's important to recognize. So let me just pull this up for you guys. I think it's important. Yeah, so this is Penguin. We know him as the true leader of Gotham, Lord of the Psychos. The Penguin situation is insane. So today we're talking about that. So, as you know, I will consume all lore. I, Lord Nuxanor, will consume all the lore. Marvel lore, DC lore, Warhammer lore, Eldritch, and fucking Lovecraft lore. All lore will be consumed. So, Marvelous Videos made a video about the Penguin origins, and it literally go through, like, his entire life story, all the origins, like, literally all the lore of the character. If you like lore, definitely subscribe. I like lore. It all goes in the big lore tier list at the end of the day, but for now, let's see what the Penguin lore is all about.
A brutal and sadistic crime lord. Penguin's origin explored. Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot, popular.
Chesterfield? Bro, his name is Chesterfield? I didn't know that. See, the only thing I knew about the Penguin is finally I get proper Jewish representation in media. That's right. In the entire DC universe, there are two Jews that I know of. There's Harley Quinn and the Penguin, two of the most wholesome, benevolent characters in all of fiction.
Popularly known as the Penguin, is one of Gotham City's
That's the GOAT!
most notorious supervillains, and as a result, an
Is he a supervillain? He's a villain, all right. Just, I don't know if he's a super one.
enemy of Batman. He is also exceedingly popular with the audience due to his intense backstory and exciting arcs.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that he had, like, exciting arcs and intense backstory. I thought that the show was, like, a completely original take.
The rich, sophisticated, and intelligent criminal mastermind was introduced by the artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger in Detective Comics number 58 in December 1941.
He absolutely is a supervillain. See, I don't really do lore dives. I didn't really do lore dives. I never read DC Comics so much. So I had no idea that that he was this. I thought he was like your typical gangster bad guy that just, when Batman would just show up and beat up random dudes on the harbor, it would be like the Penguin's minions. I didn't think he actually was like a supervillain.
He puts up the front of Oswald Cobblepot, a gentleman. Underneath this facade, he is a vengeful and power-hungry criminal, driven by rage. Initially, he was characterized by his love of ornithology and umbrellas fitted with technology. Later, he went on to become the manager of a popular nightclub called Iceberg Lounge, where he started to hide his illegal money. Basically, he uses it as a front for money laundering.
So he's like your typical gangster, money-hungry. Oh my god, that's why they made him Jewish. Holy shit. There's no fucking way.
Crimes are slimy, and he isn't afraid of any deed, no matter how dirty.
Well, they definitely lived up to that in the show, because that dude does some slimy shit.
Power-hungry nature allows him to rise to the top as he becomes the criminal kingpin of Gotham City.
But I forgive them.
Penguin forgives parents. I'm fully at peace with myself.
Since the gold...
Yeah, he forgives people. Like, the funny thing is, despite the fact that he's so evil and so manipulative, he wants to be loved. Like, it's such a fantastic dichotomy of a character. Again, a brilliant adaptation.
Golden Age, the Penguin has been a mainstay villain
Oh my god.
to oppose Batman.
That is the gayest thing I've ever seen. Like, bro is just sticking out his stick and shooting things out, and then you got Robin in tights just dancing around.
He has worked alongside the Joker and Catwoman, and is known for his strange personality quirks and bird-like features. However, there is a reason for his affinity with birds, and there is also a reason why he is always driven by negative emotions, such as anger and vengeance.
God, wait, he actually likes birds? Like, that's actually a thing in the comics? Because in the show, they called him the Penguin because he had like a terrible limp. He walked like a penguin.
Despite his villainous nature, Penguin shows flashes of compassion from time to time. He has a particular fondness for his mother as
No way! That's in the actual canon lore? So, in the show, he also has a fondness for his mother. Of course, it's perverted as fuck in its own way.
well. In this video, we are going to talk about the origin story that has made Penguin the way he is, and
Alright,
also
let's go.
talk about some of his arcs, powers, and appearances in popular
Powers?
media. Most villains do not become criminals overnight.
Bro,
often have a back-
imagine losing a fight to the Penguin. Oh, man. In a story when Batman was old, it's revealed the Penguin knew who Batman was, but Bruce responds was, I knew you knew, but you were too much of a coward to do anything about it. Holy shit.
Story, or rather, a villain origin
He's so manipulative. He manipulated his mother into giving birth to him. It was pretty twisty.
story that is sad enough to make the enemy sympathize with.
Once again, I'm going to spoil Penguin at the end, like the Penguin show at the end of this video. I will not be giving any major Penguin spoilers throughout the video, but I will be talking about it a bit at the end.
them. That does not excuse their behavior, of course, but it does give us a lot more insight into the characters and their
Oh my god, dude, he looks like such a fucking clown.
motives. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please
Bro, Penguin grappling hooks. Oh my
Support
god,
us
dude.
by
What is with that umbrella, bro?
subscribe to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
I love how Batman goes up against guns and he has no problem, but then the Penguin pulls out an umbrella that shoots little smoke capsules and he's fucked. What the? What the?
Traumatizing origin.
Alright, let's go.
In most origin stories, Penguin hails from an aristocratic family, and yet his life is extremely rough from the very beginning.
Okay, well that's immediately different than the Penguin show. In the Penguin show, he grew up from a very poor family. So that's already a big difference.
Following his birth, his mother placed him in his father's arms, but his father took one look at his face and dropped him on his head.
No.
Oswald's unfortunate facial features were to blame for that. Oswald was loved by his mother. His father, however, held a polarizing belief towards his objectively unattractive child. In fact, he wouldn't even let Oswald on the bed he shared with his wife.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Kept him near the foot of the bed, as if he were a domesticated animal.
Bro! This doesn't sound like DC Comics. This sounds like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure backstories. And Dio kept his son at the fucking foot of the bed like an animal. Like, wow, bro.
Oswald's short stature, distinctive nose, and stout appearance were to blame. He grew older
Bro's got that Jewish nose down.
and had brothers, but this only made things worse. Similar to their father, his brothers also looked at him with disgust. He
Okay, so that's kind of similar to the show in a way.
was constantly
I mean, although his brothers were much better to him in the show. Like they would prank him a little, but ultimately they still liked him. They loved him as a brother.
teased and bullied by other kids as well. His nose was compared to that of a bird, and they would tie his hands and legs to monkey bars,
Oh my
making him look
God.
like a bird hanging midair.
Oh my god!
When he would use the restroom, the kids at his school would bust him and say, "The penguin is laying an egg."
Oh my god, this is so tragic, bro. Poor dude.
All of these experiences made childhood terrible for young Oswald. Once, he had created an aviary by himself, which was raided by the school bullies and his sibling. They tore down the nests and cracked every egg on the floor, while poor Oswald could do nothing but watch and
That's so sad. Oh my god, this is again bullying done to the extreme. Like bullying really is fucking awful. Kids are evil.
horror. The only friends Oswald had were other animals due to feeling
What do you mean other animals, bro? You're really gonna say his friends were other animals? Oh my god.
secluded from a society that judged him by his appearance and tormented him. He would spend his time feeding the wild birds that visited his greenhouse. He eventually adopted Penguin as his moniker, even though it was a term that was used to bully him, because penguins are uncomfortable and clumsy in incompatible environments.
Yeah, well, that is why he was called Penguin in the show as well, right? Because they made fun of him by calling him Penguin.
But can adapt depending on the situation. Oswald found it to be a fitting name. Penguins could also be swift and decisive when threatened.
Okay, dude. Are we thinking the same Penguin? I don't know if we're thinking the same penguins here.
which Oswald embraced. As a man who has been looked down upon and tormented since his birth,
Poor guy.
Penguin went on to harbor a lot of negative feelings within himself. His siblings, Jason,
Understandable.
Robert, and William, died not long after. His father, Tucker Cobblepot, also passed away from pneumonia. And now, Oswald was the sole heir to the Cobblepot legacy.
Interesting. So again, I will talk about spoilers at the end of the video. So I'm not going to get into penguin spoilers yet, but if you haven't watched the Penguin show yet, you absolutely should. So
His mother, whom he cared for, could not take the trauma of losing 3 of her sons and her husband and
God.
became catatonic. Penguin lived his life feeling like an outcast. Rage took over him, and with vengeance on his mind, he sought revenge on his bullies. When he was being
God.
bothered by a group of prom queens, he set loose a small host of magpies on them. However, this turned out to make things worse for him as they beat him up with bats.
Bro really thought he was the main character. Bro really thought he was the main character. He was like, my birds, attack the bullies. And the bullies just took out sticks and beat the shit out of him. Yo, oh my god, that's awesome. Holy shit. It's like, I've trained my goldfish to fight you. And then it just doesn't work for some reason.
He got home, wounded and bleeding. He then went to check on his...
Bro, he got beaten by Batman even as a child. Even as a child, Batman has always been there.
adopted pets.
Oh,
One of them
no.
bit him. This enraged him further as he considered the animals to be his best friends.
Oh
He
my
beat the
God.
pet to death in a fit of rage.
He took in a pet, the pet bit him, and then he beat it to death? Holy shit. Dude was unhinged.
Graduated school and used his family's fortune to set up the Iceberg Lounge.
I'll be completely frank with you. I think that the Penguin show did such a much better job when it came to his backstory. Like, such a much better job. He didn't come from wealth. He actually built himself up by being a manipulative, cunning fuck. All right? An immoral, disgusting piece of shit. That's how he managed to slime his way through and up the ranks. By committing unbelievable atrocities and allying himself with people that he would always end up betraying, you know? Like, I think that paints such a more interesting picture than just born to wealth, was bullied, end up deciding to become a bully, you know? Because he's rich.
A socialite club. Being an outcast in society from the start, he turned to a life of crime working. As an illegal boxing promoter and a criminal on the black markets of Gotham. As a criminal in Gotham, he was destined to face Batman one day, and Penguin found himself on the opposite side of the Dark Knight quite a number of times. A notable ornament carried by Penguin is his umbrella, which has its own backstory.
There's a backstory to the umbrella? I didn't see that one coming. So it is really interesting. So in the comics, they definitely made him like an elite, a pompous elite that just wielded his immense riches and power to become like a leader of a crime syndicate. And on the other side, it was literally just like a rags to riches story in the Penguin adaptation, which I think is so much better.
After his father died of pneumonia, Penguin's mother made him carry an umbrella at all times so that he could protect himself from the rain and not catch a cold bad enough to die.
Oh my god, that's the umbrella! The reason why he always carried an umbrella was because his father died of pneumonia and his mother wanted him to stay safe. Damn!
Eventually became his cane, with which he used to walk, but it was also a sheath for his hidden blade. However, this proves that despite growing up in the worst of circumstances, Penguin still got attention from his mother. Despite being fueled by rage and the lust for revenge, Penguin always harbored a soft corner for her. Major story arcs. As Penguin is a very prominent villain who has opposed Batman, he has appeared in several arcs.
Alright.
Joker's Asylum. The Penguin finds a prostitute named Veronica. She was caged
They have prostitutes in cages in DC Comics? What the shit? That's pretty dark. Wait, hold up, what?
at the black market. Having had a hard life himself, Penguin sympathized with her and took her in. Eventually, he began to fall for her. However, he ordered a series of murders during one of his rageful episodes out of jealousy. On learning about this, Veronica began to despise him.
Oh my
in
God.
the end, Penguin took her back to the black market and put her back in the cage he had gotten her from.
all right. He finds a prostitute in a cage being sold. He buys her. He gives her a life. He loves her. She realizes that he is actually a pretty dark piece of shit, and he's like, okay, literally puts her back into slavery. So, because I don't want to, again, I'm not spoiling the Joker show, but at the end of the Joker, he dealt with one of his rivals in a very, very interesting way. Like a tragic way. He gave this villain exactly what they deserved. Like, exactly. Like, almost poetically.
War games. During one of Gotham's large-scale gang wars, Penguin stays away from the frontline action.
Big shock.
He works behind the scenes, selling weapons and...
He ordered that murder because someone bumped into him. Someone bumped into him and he ordered his murder? What the fuck?
Supervillains such as the Electrocutioner and Firefly to the games. Batman sends in Tarantula to take down Penguin's bodyguard, Deadshot. Penguin is threatened to leave Gotham.
Deadshot is Penguin's bodyguard?
And he heads to Bloodhaven. However, he would return to Gotham frequently to tend to his socialite club, the Iceberg Lounge. Unresolved, in the Gotham Central story, Harvey Bullock breaks into the Iceberg Lounge and accuses Penguin of hiring the Mad Hatter for annihilating the 1996 Gotham Hawks championship team. However, Harvey is arrested instead, where he tells the detectives about Penguin's involvement in the situation, as he had allegedly lost a huge bet that involved the Hawks team. When Harvey
he loses a bet, and then he literally wipes out the entire team. Oh my god, that is like a level of pettiness that I have nothing but respect for.
He returns, he takes Penguin hostage and threatens to throw him off the roof. In the end, he is knocked unconscious after the detectives talk Harvey out of killing Penguin.
That's nice.
Infinite Crisis. The Penguin appeared in
But I guess that kind of makes it look like he actually did do it though, right?
Infinite Crisis briefly during the Battle of Metropolis, which was started by the Secret Society of Supervillains. 1 year later, several of Penguin's men were killed while he was away from Gotham.
See, that's the thing. I always thought that the Penguin was just kind of utilized as the front guy, like the Kingpin guy, that like all the random goons that Batman takes out in episodes of Batman, like there just happened to be Penguin men. I didn't think he actually was like a threat.
Harvey Dent was framed for the murders when it was Great White who was involved in the wrongdoings.
Great White! Oh my god, bro. Dude, Great White. Holy shit. That's the worst name I've ever heard. You imagine your name is Great White? Oh my god.
Great White wanted to weaken his competition as he wanted Gotham's criminal syndicate, due to which the Penguin fell under his radar.
Damn, it is I, Great White, not to be confused with Lame Black. That's a totally other guy. we don't talk about him.
Penguin returns. He reopens the Iceberg Lounge after claiming to have given up his stint as a criminal. He even urges the Riddler.
Bro comes out of retirement
to avoid crime, as he had found a more lucrative and legal venture.
The Riddler had stopped doing crime because he's selling copyrighted t-shirts. Oh my god.
Selling overpriced Penguin merchandise.
Bro. Listen, I've seen Adventure Time. The penguins, they're overpowered as shit, all right? I've seen Madagascar, okay? Those penguins, oh my god. Those penguins would destroy you.
Gotham Underground. Batman hires Penguin to get access to his criminal contacts in Gotham.
The Batman hires Penguin? How on earth is Penguin not, like, incarcerated for life? How does this man keep... Okay, I guess every time Batman beats him, because Batman doesn't kill people. So we'll find the Penguin. Cobblepot, you were the one behind all the drugs. And then he'll beat the shit out of Penguin, put Penguin in jail. Penguin literally just bribes his way out of there 2 days later. And Batman's like, Penguin, why are you in the streets again, Penguin? God damn it, Penguin.
Meanwhile, Penguin is involved in a gang war with Intergang and Tobias Whale. He loses the war as well as Batman's support, causing him to lose out on his social position.
Damn.
Where is Batman? Brightest day. Oswald. has lost his mantle as Gotham's
Bro would go to Diddy parties and walk out of there unharmed.
crime boss, so he seeks out Johnny Stitches to get back Iceberg Lounge. However, his stake in Gotham's underground is threatened by Black Mask. Penguin joins forces with Mad Hatter, and they manipulate Dick Grayson's Batman to enforce them. Black Mask is revealed to be Jeremiah Arkham, so Penguin enlists the aid of White Canary, Creo.
How do we defeat Black Mask? I know, with White Canary. Yes, we'll just make it a race war.
And Savant to destroy the birds of prey.
See, the thing is, Penguin can't do shit himself, but he's so good at managing and manipulating crime, he just ends up off the hook and lets everyone just fight each other, and he just ends up at the top of the hill. Like, you gotta respect the grind. Bro.
Following the events, an enraged Huntress swears revenge against Penguin for being involved in a murder attempt against her teammates. During a hectic night at Iceberg Lounge, which was closed due to renovation, he loses his cool at a waitress. He tries to hit her, but Hank Hall chimes in to stop him. Oswald is apparently roughed up, as he is then seen in pajamas late at night trying to loot local convenience stores under orders from Bedbug. Batman, Dark Knight.
Yeah, but the thing is, no matter how many L's the Penguin takes, he literally will not stop. Man will not stop grinding.
Batman infiltrates the Boom Room and finds a necklace that belonged to Don Golden, his childhood crush. However, it was a trap set up by Penguin to...
The Penguin knew Batman's childhood crush? Hey, yo! What? Bro, this guy, this dude.
Capture Batman. Batman overpowers Penguin's security and interrogates Penguin, who refuses to budge. Batman is attacked by other members of the security who wielded high-tech weapons, allowing Penguin to escape. And yet, Batman catches up to him.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like Batman's the main character, but he cannot keep a good Penguin down.
And beats him, demanding answers to his questions. Killer Croc escapes police custody and attacks Batman, knocking him out. He awakens to being tied to a support beam with a television in front of him. Penguin appears on...
Penguin is such a fucking guy. Like, bro is in jail and he still gets Batman beaten up and arrested. Like, dude, who cares if Batman isn't as strong as Killer Croc or whatever?
On screen and mocks Batman, saying that Don Golden will not last long as the heat in her room is increasing. Turns
Dude, classic Penguin shenanigans.
out Penguin harbored vengeance against her as she had mocked his appearance.
Oh my god, dude. Remember the person that was your crush that I manipulated you in order to come here so I could trap you? Well, in fact, I'm killing her anyway. I'm literally just gonna kill her because she made fun of me.
Like his bullies from the past, Batman gets out of the room immediately and it explodes and searches for Dawn. He finds her in the basement and heads out after freeing her. Meanwhile, Penguin is seen interacting with a demon who is disappointed with his failures.
What?
As he failed to open the gates of hell by sacrificing Don Golden.
The Penguin is so good at making deals that he may fail in killing Batman that one time, but he'll literally make a deal with a demon to open up the gates of hell. Oh my god.
Batman.
Bro does not stop grinding.
Gates of Gotham. Dick Grayson cleans up after a bridge from the 1800s, built by the Waynes, Cobblepotts, and the Elliots, explodes. He then gets a tip about Penguin smuggling 100 pounds of Simtex, which is a plastic explosive to Gotham, as he had a potential buyer. He meets Commissioner Barbara Gordon, who tells him about the Gotham Gazette's chief editor receiving a mysterious note that stated families will fall by the gates of Gotham. He heads to interrogate Penguin.
Bro, he literally interrogates Penguin in his office. Penguin doesn't even need security. See, early Penguin, that dude needed security just in case Batman would show up. Modern Penguin, he knows that Batman has no chance. Batman, sure, he could punch him, he could beat him in a fight, but what's he gonna do? Like, Penguin will literally just end up on the top of his little fucking shit hill again.
And learns...
Like, I'm recognizing the futility of fighting the Penguin. Like, at least the Joker, the Riddler, one of these guys, you'll end up locking him in Arkham for hopefully ever. Yeah, right. But at least you could do something to him. Like, they don't want to get caught by Batman. The Penguin literally does not care. His aura is infinite.
That Penguin had sold the
He is a tiny little deformed man that will commit all forms of atrocities, and everyone knows that he does it, and they can't do anything about it because he owns the government.
text to someone who used Oswald's ancestor's name as an alias and wore a strange costume. Iceberg Lounge reopens, and Cassandra and Tim notice people fleeing from the club. Penguin seems to have discovered a bomb in his office, as the perpetrator of the bridge explosion bore a grudge against the Cobblepots.
Oh my
Tim
God.
fails at disarming it, and the Iceberg Lounge blows
He's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police.
up, causing Penguin to find himself in utter disappointment. Seems like this man's life is riddled with misery after misery.
Oh, the misery. No, but the craziest thing is, like, the Penguin... the Penguin is only scared of a villain. He's not scared of heroes, because the heroes can't do anything to him. As long as they don't kill him, he'll end up back on top. So he literally does not care about good guys. His only threat is other villains. That's wild.
Penguin, Pain, and Prejudice. While leaving the Iceberg Lounge, Oswald bumps into a patron who insults him. After recognizing who he was, he apologizes profusely, and Penguin lets it slide. He asks his men to steal a dragon egg, Ruby, from Barbara Chantel, a socialite from Gotham. They ambush and decapitate her to
They ambush and decapitate her? Like, this is a really bad guy. Batman, what are you doing? Batman, kill him! Oh my God. The only hero Penguin fears is Red Hood. Yeah, because Red Hood would fucking murder this dude.
fetch the ruby, which Oswald intends to give his mother as a gift for Mother's Day.
Wait, he literally finds a woman with a big ruby. He kidnaps her, he executes her, he decapitates her to steal her ruby to give to his demented mother. And he does her toenails.
He then calls upon the man who had insulted him and claims that even though he will not harm him, he cannot say the same for his loved ones. He burns down the man's building. They cause the man's parents to get involved in an accident and make his girlfriend Jenny overdose on heroin. In the end, he gives the man a gun with a bullet and asks him to go outside to kill himself instead of staining the carpets with blood.
Oh my God. Dude, that is so dark. That is so dark. Oh, dude, Doflamingo has got nothing on this guy. Literally nothing. Bro, we need a CJ DeChamp video on the Penguin ASAP.
New 52. Detective Comics. Faces of Death. Penguin tries to take criminal territories and wipe out low-end criminals, but his plans are foiled by Batman after he blows up innocent people and causes the...
Oh, that's nice. After blowing up the innocent people, that's when Batman is like, yo, we gotta put the guy in jail for 5 minutes.
death of Charlotte Rivers. Dark Knight. Cycle of Violence. An employee steals a painting of Penguin's mother. He interrogates him when...
Dude, see, but this is the thing. Like, who is dumb enough to steal from the Penguin? Dude, the Penguin makes the Joker look like Team Rocket. Like, this is insane.
Scarecrow walks in. Penguin turns him into a blimp to emit Super Fear Toxin 451A all over Gotham. Death of the Family. Penguin goes to a church to meet some criminals, but they are found dead in a praying position.
Oh, God.
He then comes across Joker, who refers to crime as religion and asks Penguin to join hands with him.
Wait, what? The Joker calls crime religion and makes Penguin the Pope. Ah!
Who refers to crime as religion and asks Penguin to join hands with him. When Batman goes to catch Joker, he finds Penguin with Two-Face and Riddler, dressed up in medieval period costume. Their hostages were dressed like the Justice League, and Joker asks Batman to sit on an electric chair, otherwise the hostages would be killed.
Oh my God, dude. Brother, get the heavy flamer. Could we just end these people? Oh my God. At some point, is Batman culpable?
However, Joker betrays the others and traps Penguin and the others behind bars after completing his plan.
Yeah, it turns out the Joker is pretty fucked up too.
Us even knew the shipment was going out last night.
Well, someone did.
Hey, I watched this movie. This was the Batman Batgirl movie.
How dangerous is the Penguin? Penguin is easily one of Batman's most intelligent villains.
All right, here we go. So these were all the lore, all the stories, the basic backstory lore, but let's get into stats here. All right.
Equaling the likes of the Riddler, he rose up to the top in Gotham's underworld as a superb criminal mastermind. His excellence with planning allows him to turn any situation in his favor. He also has a love for ornithology and carries technology-fitted umbrellas, the latter being prevalent from his very character.
He's like, what if there's someone in there and he just fucking releases his fart bomb on it? That's amazing. Oh my lord.
Character design. Powers and abilities. Penguin does not possess any superpowers, so his abilities rely upon his high-end intelligence.
Yep. Oh my god! He got him. Bro, wait one more time. He just fucking releases the fart bomb. It's like, dude, you don't need to fight Batman! Sneak failed! Oh my god, bro. Holy macaroni. Dude, honestly, I love the Penguin now. Like, the actual new Penguin show literally made me 180 on this character.
Genius level intellect. Ever since his childhood, Penguin was not blessed in the physical department, be it his appearance or his athleticism. As a result, he had to rely on a sharp intellect for the longest time. However,
they absolutely knew what they were doing with that leather BDSM Catwoman
athleticism,
costume, right?
as a result.
Like, as a kid, I did not even think twice that this was like 100% intentional. But like, holy shit.
He had to rely on a sharp intellect for the longest time. However, his brain always takes a sinister route, even if the decision needed to be made takes place in a very mundane scenario.
It's true. He will literally do things that are so underhanded and evil. And honestly, sometimes it feels like, why would he even do that shit? I think we were all thinking the same thing at the end of the Penguin.
I am Oswald Cobblepot.
Business management. Oswald excels at business management.
Let's go, Jewish representation. Woo!
Something that can be noted from the way he carries out his criminal operation. In fact, all of his operations were likely to be a raging success, but Batman foiling his plans obviously does not work out in his favor. He has gone against the law and cooperated with the law to make money.
And he owns the law, bro. He owns the law! It's kind of wild to see how he wheedles his way into fucking government and shit. Like, sometimes the truest forms of evil are just controlled evil. Like, absolute controlled evil is so scary. Like, as a chaotic neutral individual myself, I recognize the fear of actual authority.
Iceberg Lounge being a legitimate nightclub, while drugs were illegitimately sold there under the table. Leadership. Penguin is often seen around his henchmen. In fact, he travels with them for every criminal mission, or even for mundane activities like going to the zoo.
He brings his minions to the zoo? Damn, that's awesome. The law doesn't just worship it, it sucks his dick. True.
He has bodyguards, servants, chefs, villains, and several gang members under his control, and he is only able to amass such a crowd due to his leadership qualities.
Dude, in the Penguin, when he unites like a bunch of like little gangs in order to work for him, like, it was such an insane scene. He knew there was a hit on his head, and despite the fact that he knew that they would benefit by killing him, he met up with them anyway because he knew he had so much riz, he would be able to convince them to join him instead of kill him. Like, that is an insane level of confidence. The balls on this man.
This is all just a bad dream.
Avian trainer, considering his close relationship with birds, sense of...
Alright, can we just stop making believe that this is an ability of his? He can control pigeons. What the fuck?
Very young age, Penguin has great knowledge about them and excels at being an avian trainer.
Okay.
Benefits him in his criminal as well as personal endeavors. He has a special kinship with the African penguin.
I love love how he doesn't even explain how it's useful, because it is literally not useful. Like, dude, that is the superpowers of a homeless person, okay? What?
I'm just jealous because I'm a genuine freak.
Hand-to-hand combat. Advanced.
What?
Penguin
What? Advanced hand-to-hand combat. Get out of here. Miss me with that.
has spent quite some time learning martial arts to
Are you joking? He's joking.
overpower the people who have insulted his appearance. He is a master at boxing and judo.
That's actually canon? He's actually a boxing and judo pro? There's no way. Dude wields his umbrella like Wukong
Advanced.
wields his staff, alright?
Penguin
Like,
has spent
But you are joking me. He's a judo master?
He is a master at boxing and judo.
Alright, I admit I am very surprised.
Cold tolerance. Penguins can tolerate freezing temperatures a lot longer than the average person. He
Cold tolerance.
has good resistance to hypothermia and frostbite. However, he does not have a superhuman tolerance for sub-freezing temperatures like Mr. Freeze, and his ability is just on the far end of the regular human's cold tolerance. Tactical analysis.
Alright.
As a crime lord, Penguin
Alright.
has great tactical analysis,
Okay.
which aids him against his opponents.
For example? That's it. He doesn't even give an example? Tactical analysis?
My baby!
Oh my god, he sounds exactly like Ice King. Bro is gonna circumcise you into oblivion, bro. That's what we call the circumcision attack.
Weaknesses. Obsession. Despite having several plus points, Penguin's major weakness
There's no way! First of all, I don't know what Batman movie this is. That they keep showing this, like, domain expansion world of penguins shit. But, like, the fact that he uses
Weaknesses.
penguins and he gets defeated by bats has got to be the worst plot of all time. Like, I've seen some pretty bad superhero plots, but that's pretty awful. 1989 Batman, wow, bro.
obsession. Despite having several plus points, Penguin's major weakness lies in his obsession with committing crimes with bird motifs and avian themes.
His weakness is he needs to shoehorn avian motifs into his crimes. Bro, this sounds like Seto Kaiba and his Blue Eyes White Jet, okay? You have got to be kidding me. His weakness is he's like, well, I could pull this off, but I really want to include penguins somehow.
Which was predominant during the early stages of his career. This also made it easier to figure out whether he is involved in a crime or not, putting him at a disadvantage. It is understandable
If a crime happens and there's just like penguin eggs and feathers all over the place, they'll be like, I wonder who this could be.
that he did it to gain a name and prominence in society, considering how he spent his life as a social outcast. Instead of being an object of ridicule, he could now be a threat.
I feel like early Batman was really all about, you used to be afraid of bats, so now you let bats define you. And he was like, you used to be made fun of as a penguin, so now you let penguin define you, right? You used to be made fun of as a joker and a freak, so you became a joker and a freak. Like, it's really interesting. It's not just themed. It goes to show you how names and culture and events define you. How you take these things that define you, even in negative ways, and you utilize them for yourself in positive ways. Like, it's a really nice theme, but like, bro's got that autistic debuff. It's crazy. Oh my god! Did you see that?
Paraphernalia, weapons, trick umbrellas. The Penguin is characterized by his usage of trick umbrellas. He uses an assortment of this weapon, often as a hidden blade. Some of his umbrellas have flight abilities due to
Flight abilities, bro!
motorization, which helps him with his escapades in narrow situations. Now, if we talk about the threat he poses, Penguin has a decent arsenal of feats up his sleeve that makes him quite the menace for the Dark Knight.
Wait,
Let's
what?
explore some of these moments.
Okay.
Murdered the Waynes. This is
Wait, what?
is not canon in DC's mainstream universe,
Okay, thank God. I was about to lose my shit.
where Thomas and Martha Wayne were killed by muggers. However, in Batman Earth 1 comic series, the writers of DC have explored an alternate scenario where Oswald Cobblepot is responsible for ordering a hit to murder the Waynes.
I love how the Waynes dying, that's just a fucking canon event. That's gonna happen anyway. Now, who kills them, we'll figure that out later.
So, even without pulling the trigger, he is as responsible as Joe Chill for creating Batman, since he is the puppeteer pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Okay.
By doing this,
That's not a feat. It's like, why is he a feat? Well, he created his worst enemy by accident. All right.
Penguin was able to amass a lot of political power in Gotham now that the Waynes were dead. Manipulated someone to the point of suicide.
Yeah.
Penguin has used his malicious intellect to manipulate the life of one of his chefs, causing him to commit suicide.
What?
The chef had once laughed at his direction. Not at him, just at his direction.
Oh my God.
Penguin, traumatized by being laughed at since birth, took it personally and made the chef's life as miserable as he could. In the end, the chef could not handle the pressure and ended up killing himself. Penguin's trauma
That is so dark. Oh my God. He laughs in his direction and he manipulates him to suicide. Yo! Dude, Penguin's fucked up. He laughed and I took that personally. Oh my God. Do I sense joy? Oh! Get cooked, my brother. Wow. Oh my God. The Penguin is like a Twitter user, except actually has power in the real world. Like, that's the main difference between Penguin and Twitter. People on Twitter get upset at random shit, but they have no power. The Penguin, he's a vindictive little fuck. Wow, that's scary.
is understandable, but his subsequent actions are way out of pocket. All that money, and he still does not go for therapy.
Okay, that's not the problem.
Got romantically involved with a real penguin.
What are... Oh my God, he really is the Ice King. He literally is the Ice King. What is going on? Bro, what is happening? Dude, I said we would do a lore dive, but like, Oswald, no!
Penguin and Bane were involved in a mutual plan to take down Batman and reign over Gotham. However, after Bane betrays Penguin by killing his beloved Penny, Penguin switches sides and tries to join hands with Batman. He also reveals how Bane was secretly running his shenanigans from Arkham Asylum. When Penguin talks about his love for Penny, people believe that it might be a woman he has fallen for.
No.
However, while revealing some details about her, he mentions Penny having feathers
No!
and a beak, which causes the audience to think that he is romantically interested in a real penguin named Penny. As gross as this may sound, this has never been confirmed officially.
Wow, bro! Oh my... Ain't a Nux stream if it ain't... Alright, shut up, chat. There's no laws against the penguins, Batman. No, there literally are laws against the penguins.
My recipe for pigeon pie.
Tried to kill Jim Gordon's wife.
All right,
John
whatever.
Paul Valley's Batman took the spotlight during Batman Comics' Nightfall era. Penguin played a rather small role during this time, but he used the little attention to cement his position as a super
To cement?
manipulative villain that
Did he say cement instead of cement? No.
used the little attention to cement his position as a super manipulative villain.
How do you even make that mistake? How do you pronounce... This is not an AI voice. How on earth do you pronounce cement as cement? Like, that's insane. Like, that is Joker shit.
Plagues Gotham. He turns himself in after getting Commissioner Gordon's wife kidnapped. He then taunts Gordon.
He gets the dude's wife kidnapped and he turns himself in. It's like, what the fuck are you gonna do to me now, huh? What are you gonna do to me now? You have no power here, old man. I literally have your wife. I can kill her whenever I want to. I'm Oswald Cobb.
and rubs salt on the wound by pointing out his incapability in finding his wife. Batman shows up after finding her, so all is good, but Penguin had managed to get under Gordon's skin by
That's insane. He literally didn't even need to turn himself in. He just did it for the flex, because he's like, I kidnapped your wife, what are you gonna do? I know I'm wanted for murder.
that time, abandoned his son Ethan. As someone who has had a horrible relationship with his father, you would expect Penguin to not repeat it and try to be a decent father. But that does not happen when Penguin is shown to have a son in his mid-20s named Ethan. In one of Batgirl's storylines, we learn that Ethan tries his best to keep his distance from Penguin.
I wonder why!
Not because his father is a criminal, but because Penguin had abandoned him immediately after his birth. Ethan...
So, again, this is like living up to the sins of his father. His dad was a villain, bro.
Only got his father's financial support. Ethan reveals his evil plans to Penguin, hoping to bond with his criminal father, but his advances are rejected until Penguin sees Ethan's potential and decides to use it for his own benefit.
Oh
Daddy
my
issues.
god, that is vicious! He abandoned his son leaves, his son comes back, his son wants to unite with him. He says no until he realizes he can use his son for his own financial gain, and he's like, yeah, boy, don't worry, I could bring you into the fold. You a good driver?
I got you!
Okay, that looks like the guy from Home Alone.
I got you!
That's the robber from Home Alone.
Colin Farrell's casting as the Penguin, and Matt Reeves, the Batman.
Wait, this was the Penguin that was in the Batman?
2022.
He got a huge bar mitzvah for his son in the Harley Quinn series. Yo, I forgot about that! That is true. That is true. He did do that for his son. He threw him a bar mitzvah. That was pretty awesome.
Matt Reeves, the Batman, starring Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne or Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle or Catwoman, and Paul Dano as the Riddler, and one of 2022's most highly anticipated.
I have to watch this. Is this good, The Batman? Is The Batman a good movie? I heard it was mid, so I just didn't watch it.
Releases. Penguin will also be making an appearance in the movie, albeit not in a very prominent role, but it still has fans from all across the world excited. The character will be portrayed by Colin Farrell. Initially, this decision raised a lot of eyebrows, and of course, it would be hard for anyone to walk the same path as the likes of Burgess Meredith.
Are they joking? This is the best Penguin adaptation of all time. Like, are they actually serious? They wanted to make an actual dark story and they wanted the Penguin to look like this guy?
Or Danny DeVito, who have both played Penguin in the past and knocked it out of the park.
Dude, but there is no way they can get a character like that to actually play a serious role.
Recently, new images from the Batman have been circulating on the internet, where we get to see Colin decked up in his Penguin attire. The getup is quite accurate to the comics, which makes us more excited to see what's about to come. Trailers and exclusive
I'm coming.
clips.
All right, I'm not getting into this because this movie is already out, so whatever.
Creative and terrifying versions of Penguin in various forms of media explored. Since Penguin is a very popular villain, he has appeared in several forms of media beyond.
It's so interesting how he keeps showing up in media, despite the fact that he is, on the surface level, he's not nearly one of the most interesting Batman villains, right? Like, on the surface level, like, he's just a crime boss. Like, every single other Batman villain is terrifying and creative in a different way. But I think it's just the fact that the idea of the rich guy that is just untouchable by the law, like, there is something so horrifying about that. But anyway, back to the versions of the Penguin.
And terrifying versions of Penguin.
Terrifying versions of Penguin. We don't want to think about the virgins of Penguin.
In various forms of media explored. Since Penguin is a very popular villain, he has appeared in several forms of media beyond the comics, be it films, television, animated series, or video games.
Alright. Oh my god, stop with the rubber ducky.
Films. Burgess Meredith played Penguin in the 1966 live-action movie Batman, directed by Leslie H. Martinson. Here, Penguin appeared alongside other notorious Batman villains such as the Joker, Catwoman, and the Riddler. Penguin and the other villains try to outsmart the Dark Knight in the movie, but ultimately fail.
No
Meredith's
way!
performance went on to garner praise from the critics as well as the audience, which brings us to 1992's Batman Returns. Directed by Tim Burton, we get to see Danny DeVito step into the role of the Penguin, and pull it off with nothing but sheer excellence. He also has a very different origin story. He was born with a deformed body that gave him hands like flippers. He gets abandoned by his rich parents and thrown into the sewers. The penguins of the
that's a twist.
zoo take up the responsibility of raising him. Wonder how he learned English.
This is the most fantastical gimmick.
Television. The 1960s had a Batman live-action television series where Burgess Meredith played Penguin. 2014, Robin Lord Taylor took over the role when he appeared in the Fox television series Gotham.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I never watched Gotham. I don't know if that was worth a watch. I heard it was mid.
Story set in a timeline that follows Gotham right after the murders of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Taylor has a prominent role with Oswald Cobblepot, who has just begun his journey and is set to be the Penguin in the future. His left leg takes a hit following a revenge assault, from where he gets his trademark waddle limp. Anytime anyone compared his walk to that of a penguin, great anger took over Taylor's Penguin.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Who says penguins can't fly?
I love Batman villains so much. They are so funny. Like, that is the worst villain monologue of all time.
Who said penguins can't fly? Wah, 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 wah.
Animation. He also appears in the 1980s animated series Super Friends, where he is played by Frank Weller. Paul Williams voices him in the iconic Batman the Animated Series and The New Batman Adventures. Tom Kenny voices him in The Batman, and Stephen Root voices him in Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Help me!
Video games. Penguin also makes his appearance in several video games such as Batman Arkham Asylum and
Bro just whirls her around and harasses her like that, and he will never face justice because he owns the courts.
Batman Arkham City. Presently, fans are excited to see him in the upcoming live-action Batman movie by Matt Reeves. What do you think of the Penguin? Did you enjoy?
I think it's insane how prolific he is, and I think it goes to show that people recognize the fear of government officials and crime bosses out there that are literally too rich to fail. I think the Penguin is a fantastic insight into the mind of somebody that literally is too connected to lose. And I think it's such an interesting concept for a villain in general. And I think that's why you see him so often. Like, you cannot get... Kenny voiced both Penguin and Ice King. No way! But that's awesome. Anyway, I wanted to wrap up with a couple of spoilers about the Penguin show, so if you didn't see it, feel free to tune out. But the Penguin show's backstory is a little different. The Penguin in the Penguin show murdered his brothers because they insulted him. Or didn't directly murder them, but caused them to die, and he could have saved them, and he didn't. His mother knew about that and hated him for it, but refused to, like, let him know that she hated him for it. So he lived his whole life as a monster, looked at as a monster, trying his best to make his mother happy because he thought that his mother didn't know, but she knew all along, and she hid it from him. And he does some of the most fucked up shit ever. He feels like one thing tying him back from a role in government is someone that he really loves, and he literally just murders that person anyway. Like, I think that the Penguin is truly one of the greatest superhero shows of all time. It is a masterpiece. And honestly, we're eating good this year. This year we're eating good. We got some good shows. We got the Penguin, we got Arcane. Unironically, Only Murders in the Building is a great show. That the new season was actually really good, even though it's not really in my wheelhouse for content that I talk about, but it was a banger. But ultimately, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and give spoilers for everything in the Penguin, just in case you want to watch it. But the way he dealt with Falcone was brilliant. All in all, Penguin is a fascinating villain. And I think that he just doesn't get the respect he deserves because people look at him and is like, goofy bird guy crime boss. And in reality, he's so much more than just goofy bird guy crime boss. I'm glad we did this lore dive. Thank you so much for being here, and remember, stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.